Good morning, everyone. Happy holidays to everyone here. Uh, Thank you. Welcome to our December 16, 2021 special magistrate hearing for the Building Division. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. For those of you who are in line, if you could just raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all may be seated. At this time, please silence all of your devices. Our first case is on page 31, Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 436 Southwest 8th Ave. Case number CE 201-20122. Owner Robert C. Swindle. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 7/22/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $5,550, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. The city at this moment is requesting for fines to be stopped and a 35-day extension.
All right, good morning. Please speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Hi, good morning. This is Roya Edwards with toothaker.org. I'm representing the property owner today.
All right, so we've got an agreed extension of how many days?
35.
35?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 35-day extension is granted. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our next case is on page 15, page 15, Chief George Oliva. Property address 1220 Southwest 26th Street, 1-8. Case number BE 21070229. Owner Green Arbor Management Corp. Notice posted at the property on 11/17/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Leo Martinez, representing Chief George Oliva. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter. The 42 days is over.
All right, on behalf of the owner, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Jerry DiRoberto. I represent,
You understand what this gentleman said?
yes, I already have a contract with an engineer. He's coming out on Monday. I don't see any problem complying, so I'm happy with the,
All right, very good.
Okay.
City's request is granted, so ordered.
Thank you, sir.
Our next case is on page 33, Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 1016 Northeast 13th Ave. Case number BE 21060138. Owner, Medici Properties LLC. This case was first heard on 7/15/21 to comply by 8/26/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. Fines currently at $2,400 and continues to accrue. Fines were imposed at the 11/18/21 hearing, and the case was ordered to reappear today.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. As today, on this particular case of the unsafe porch, no permit application has been submitted to the city. I'm gonna let the attendant to speak.
All right, sir. Please speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is David Medici.
All right, what would you like to add?
I've got a permit number here that I was told from my GC that it was submitted. I don't understand.
Speak right into the microphone, please.
Okay. I have a permit here that I was told that was submitted to the city by my GC.
All right, and tell me what that is again.
It's a permit for the carport.
I'm sorry?
It's a permit for the carport.
All right. Yeah, is that something you want to show me? Is that what you said?
I don't know what to do here, sir.
What he's Your Honor, for the record, Ronald Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. from what I can see, he looks like he's waving around a drawing. That's not going to be a permit application. Do you have a permit application number?
I don't know. I didn't apply for the permit. I hired the GC to pull it. He told me everything's in compliance with the city.
I
That's
checked
what
this
I'm
morning
told.
the system, and no permit application for the carport on records, on the city records.
There's no permit application. The inspector said he checked this morning, and there's no permit application in the records yet
For the carport.
for the carport.
All right, okay, so,
Do you have the permits for the other violation?
We're talking about this case, and this case is in regard
And I'm
of the
talking about,
carport.
yeah, I was talking about the other case
whoa,
too.
whoa, one at a time, one at a time.
Your Honor, we're discussing this case. This case is for an unsafe carport. There is another case for another issues on the property, but this specific case, what the fines were imposed last hearing, is for the carport. So that's what I'm referring to.
May I?
Yes, sir.
Again, when I first got this violation, it was originally the carport, then it was the main building part. It was, when I bought the property, it was told it was a triplex, and it's not. I'm happy to comply with what the city needs to do. In order for me to do that, I'd have to have the options. I told Mr. Martinez this as well. I got to see my options of what have to be done inside. In this day and age, you just knock buildings down and then just build townhouses. So that was one of the options I had. I spent the last 3 months complying, trying to find out what I need to do in order to the other violation and coherent with the carport. I've gotten estimates from the carport to tear it down for $6,000 or tear the whole house down for 10. So if it's feasible for me to tear the whole house down, because the other violations with the other citation, when I presented the case, violations to the GC and architect plans, they treated it as one. They told me that the whole application was applied for, the permit. So it's probably on the other violation, because over here I have the carport here on here. So I don't know how the architect did it. I didn't go with him to the city. And Mr. Martinez knows that. 2 weeks later, he slaps me with another violation, and that was, I could have had the carport done in July, but feasible, what's worth it. And then, you know, I don't know what to do here. I'm lost. I've spent months interviewing people. I don't know what else to do here. To tear the house down. I just don't know.
Mr. Montoya,
I know, it's funny. It's just funny. It's just, you know, it's consuming me. In the whole meantime, you know, my mother's died. I couldn't see her. I'm just doing nothing but doing this project over here. And I don't know. Give me the fine. I don't know what else to say. He knows I've been trying to comply by this. I've been to multiple contacts. And then I'm getting false information from the city as well, that I could have drawn my own plans.
Correct, you can't draw, are you an architect?
No, but Joe from the city building department said I could. 3 months after the fact. I know it's false. I'm giving false information from the city as well. I just want to get this done. It's consumed my whole life. It's 6 months already. It's wasted my whole life. And I told him, I do whatever you need to do. It's confusing for me.
I mean, this goes back a while.
And it does, yes.
I don't recall the case, quite frankly, but either I or the other magistrate was concerned enough to require a mandatory.
You had mentioned it last time, and then in the meantime, I paid this company on November 9th, I paid them to pull the permits. I don't know if I'm supposed to go down with them, pull them out of the car. I've had other estimates come in, people had COVID, they don't show up, they can't do the job. I'm doing the best I can here. I'm tired, so I hired this company July 9th, and am I supposed to go hire another company? Because I don't understand.
Your Honor, there's nothing really further for you to do at this time. It was just to reappear, to give the property owner an opportunity. If he had moved forward with either permitting or to demolish or to legalize it, then obviously the city could support an extension. But as the inspector has stated, there's no permit in the system for this particular violation, so the fines have already been imposed.
Could we look at the other permit number and see if that's on there?
That's another case. That doesn't have anything to do
But
with
he
this.
combined them together.
No, one case is for unsafe and the other case is for work without permit and change of use. Doesn't have anything to do one with the other one, although both are on the same property.
Yeah, I think Ms. Montoya hit the nail on the head. When I do a mandatory reappearance, I want to see some significant.
And I was on the assumption this is a permit for
Please
it.
don't interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
Please don't interrupt me. All right. So I don't know what to do at this point. The fines are continuing to accrue. It's not in compliance. I don't know what the problem is, but I don't see any other alternative but to continue to impose the fines. They continue to accrue.
Thank
I
you.
don't know what your communication problem is, or whether you.
It's the city of Fort Lauderdale is the problem.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 35, property address 710 Southwest 38th Terrace. Inspector Jose Saragusti, case number BE 201-00038. Owner Victor C. Blackwood. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $250.
Good morning. Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. The case is in compliance. City is recommending administrative cost to be imposed of $250.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Victor Blackwood, as stated.
All right, do you understand what this gentleman said?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to waive the fines and impose administrative cost of $250.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
How do I pay?
Well,
How do I pay?
you'll receive a final order from our staff, and you'll be able to pay that way. The
Okay.
final order will give you the directions on to pay.
All right, thank you.
All right. Our next case is on page 4, property address 15 Northwest 7th Ave, Chief George Oliva, owner Firth Properties Northwest 7th LLC, case number BE 21070089. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning. Inspector Maddock in behalf of Chief George Oliva for City of Fort Lauderdale. Address and case as read. At this time, the case is not in compliance. We are requesting 42 days extension and 100 days after that.
42 days or?
Yes, or $100 thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Ray Brooks.
All right, anything you'd like to add, sir?
No, sir, I have everything done except the final report, so
All
I'm
right,
just waiting.
Excellent. Keep on top of it, but right now I find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 32. Inspector Alexander Arbores, property address 4250 Galt Ocean Drive. Owner Galt Towers Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 2107-0036. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 10/21/21. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda.
Good morning, everyone. Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case and address as read. The property was cited for violation of Section 9-280B, building parts not maintained. There is deterioration to the pool walls, especially to the northeast corner of the pool structure. Records show concrete restoration permit BLD-CRES-211-2007 was applied for yesterday, December 15th. The city is requesting 35-day extension to allow for review of permit application. The respondent is here. He would like to say a few words.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Jason Borden. I'm the engineer of record.
Okay, so this is your request for an extension?
This is the community's request for extension, yes. We've got the contractor.
No objection to 30?
No objection.
Okay. 35-day objection is granted, although there've been several others. So let's get this taken care of.
Yep.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 4. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 6551 Northeast 22nd Ave. Owner, Cortland Schuler. Case number CE 21050667. Notice posted at the property on 11/26/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits. In the following manner, but not limited to, a new pergola on the back of the property. I reviewed the case on 12/15/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
35 days or?
$50 a day.
Okay. All right, ma'am, if the microphone's adjustable, if you'll speak right into the microphone.
Okay.
State your name.
Sophie Becko.
All right, and anything you want to add to what this gentleman said?
I need more time for the peculiar.
Well, this is, you need the permits, right?
Yeah, they need just to apply for the permits.
All right, so I'm gonna find the violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter. And if you need an additional time or have a problem, you can request an extension, but 35 days should be sufficient.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Our next case is on page 25. Chief George Oliva, property address 3038 North Federal Highway, CD. Owner, Ludmila Kugalev. Case number BE 21090068. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor. George Oliva on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. This is a 40-year requirement report that must be filed. And this moment, they haven't submitted the report to the city. So we are asking for an extension of 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter if the report is not submitted.
All right, ma'am, if you'll state
Okay.
your name for the record.
Sure. My name is Ludmila, and the last name Kogolov. I am the owner, 3038 North Federal Highway. And the reports about that structure and electrical is completely done. And I have a report about it in my building.
All right.
And everything
so
is good.
You're making progress. So
Yes.
for the record, I'm going to find that the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a pleasant holidays.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 31. Property address 528 Southeast 32nd Street. Inspector Alexander Boris. Case number BE 200-90001. Owner, REM Management Group, LLC. This case was first heard 2/18/21 to comply by 5/20/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose. Okay, go ahead.
Alexander Alvarez, building inspector for the city, updating you on case and address is read. The property was cited for building being occupied as a gym without a certificate of occupancy as per FPC 2017-111.1.1. The case was complied October 1st, 2021. The respondent is here to speak.
Yes, my name is Fanny Vargas, and I'm the owner of the property located in 528 Southeast 32nd Street. The thing is that we purchased that building the last year, and we knew about the existence of these tenants. And but as far as we know, because when we were trying to purchase that, it was an engine repair, and that's all we know. When we made the closing, we didn't know anything about what he was doing in that location, in that unit. We knew about it when we were doing the closing for a construction loan that we had. So the lawyer told us that it was a case in the city. So that was the time where we knew about it. So I spoke to him, and because we don't know about what he was doing because it's in the back of the building. It's another street. It's like in the outside. So we didn't know about what he was doing. For us, it was an engine repair, and that's it. I was not checking. I was receiving my check in the mailbox, and I don't know what he was doing until the lawyer told me that. Then, I spoke to them. We went, my husband and I, we went to the location, and we certainly see some machines. And he told us that it was not a gym, it was a fitness club. However, he didn't have any certificate of occupancy, and that's what we know. With Alexander, and they start they show me some papers that they were working on it, and they start to do it. But I didn't know that, because they showed me that everything was in the date, and I don't know. Then suddenly the tenant, because they made a violation because the tenant made a sublist in that location, and we didn't know about it. Maybe we can put some, maybe open a case to him because he was doing something illegal. But at that time, the contract, it was going to end at the end of this year. So all we wanted to do is just he can open the certificate of occupancy and leave everything just like that. But unfortunately, they have a fight, and they leave everything in the air, and nobody told us about it. And now, we spoke with Alex, who visited the location, and he told us, all of this situation that we are having now. Luckily, he left. I could speak with the subtenant, and he told me all I can do, because we're having some problems with personal problems, and they cannot be together, and they open another case by themselves, I can close the certificate of occupancy, and that's what he did. But now we have a fee, and I know that you guys have been in administrative fees and all of that. But as I'm telling you, when we purchased that building, and he was a tenant for about 5 years, and we never knew that something like this would happen. It was an engine repair, and that's all we see when we're trying to do the purchase. And when we did the closing from the construction loan, that's what the time when we knew about it. We never received any letter advising about that, in the beginning of the month. So we knew about it, and we received something about it when the lawyer told us about it, and when I called Alex. But we were not aware of this case.
All right, so again, city's recommendation is?
The city is willing to support the reduction of fine to administrative costs of $430.
$430 at administrative costs. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'm going to impose administrative costs, $430.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 6, Chief George Oliva, property address 316 Northeast 4th Street, owner 300 3rd and 4th LLC, case number BE 2107-0243. Notice posted at the property on 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva for City. Address and case as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city's asking for 42 days extension or $100 a day thereafter.
All right.
Is there a respondent here for this case? 316 Northeast 4th Street? Okay, maybe they went to the restroom, so Nash, we're going to recall this case.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Our next case is on page 36. Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 6815 Northwest 28th Ave. Owner Fred J. Harper Jr., Fred J. Harper Jr. Revocable Livable Trust. Case number BE 201-00003. This case was first heard on 2/18/21. To comply by 4/15/21. Fines suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $575. Is there a respondent here for this case? Okay. Go ahead, Jose.
Good morning, Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is in compliance. City is recommending as administrative cost of $575.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Fred J. Harper Jr.
All right, do you understand what this gentleman said?
I'm not 100% sure, no.
All right, well, the fines total $6,950, and the city has recommended that be waived and reduced to administrative cost of $575. Got it?
Do I have a choice?
Sure. You want to argue differently?
Well, I mean, this has been the most long drawn out thing that I've probably gotten involved in my life, other than working for a living. It's just like fighting your way through bureaucracies, and not just the city bureaucracy, but the bureaucracy of surveyors and people that tell you they can do a job and you don't need a permit, and et cetera, et cetera. But if the fine is what it is to get it over and closed, we'll pay it.
Well, the city's made a very, very reasonable recommendation, which I'm going to accept, and impose administrative cost of $575. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 2. Inspector Nash Maddock, property address 3111 Northeast 29th Street. Owner Sky 3111 LLC. Case number BE 2108-0086. Notice posted at the property 11/3/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Inspector Maddock for City for Lauderdale, for address and case as read. I initially visited this property on August 20th, 2021 to investigate a work without a permit complaint. At the time of my inspection, I met with Kathy. She introduced herself as a tenant living in the building, and she also said that she's a complainant. She walked me to the location where the sheds were located and observed 2 sheds on the property. Research records have found violation that both sheds were installed without obtaining necessary permits. The property was cited for work without permit under Municipal Code 9-1D. The case was opened on August 19, 2021. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on August 23, 2021. Final notice was mailed to the property owner in September 24, 2021. Notice of hearing was posted on property on October 29, 2021. Record shows the permit application has been submitted to the city in order to correct this violation. Permit number BLD-ACC-211-20009 was filed on December 13, 2021, but has not been issued as of 12/15/2021. Smaller shed have been removed as the last inspection December 14, 2021. We're asking Your Honor to find that the violation exists and that to grant the property owner 35 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, how many days?
35.
All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Karina Bertino.
All right, anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said?
Nope, he's correct.
All right, I find the violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Our next case is on page 33. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1801 Northeast 62nd Street, 222. Owner Peter D'Alesso, case number BE21050003. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 10/21/21. Fine suspended as noted, one section not complied at $50. City is requested to impose the full amount of $1,350, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. I have the defendant, and I will allow her to speak, to explain what's going on.
All right, ma'am. If you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Hello, your magistrate. My name's Nick.
What's happening here? Okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Nikita Shannon. I'm the general contractor assisting the property owner with legalizing the violation. What's going on? I submitted permit applications and proposal to complete the alterations that he has started. And we got plan review comments back in November, and I'm trying to comply with that because they are asking for a complete floor plan of his unit. I've attempted to go to microfilm. Yesterday, their system was down. Even the building department system was down. I couldn't check status of my early start request. Neither could I get additional information so I can respond back to the plan review reviewers. So I'm asking if you could please just honor me a little time to try to respond to these comments and not impose any more fines to this owner.
The city has no objection. We will agree to give it a little time. I think
35 days going to be sufficient?
Yes, sir. I guess so.
Going to stay the fines as of this date.
Okay.
And grant a 35-day extension.
And then when I come back, I will show proof of permits, and then
As soon as the permit gets issued, the case is gonna be compliant, and then we come back for the fines.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 30. One moment, let me get there. I'm sorry, yes. Page 30, Chief George Oliva, property address 5750 North Federal Highway. Owner 101 East Sunrise LLC. Attention Garrett Hyam. Case number BE 21090036. Notice posted at the property on 11/13/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Chief George Oliva, in behalf of the city, this is a 40-year case, and the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days, and after the extension is over, $100 per day thereafter.
All right, good morning. If you'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrew Shine with Lockery and Chakas, representing the property owner. We're fine with 42 days.
All right, for the record, I find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there a respondent here for 316 Northeast 4th Street? Okay. Moving on, page 23. Our next case, Chief George Oliva, property address 2900 Banyan Street. Case number BE 21070260. Owner GN Properties Inc. in care of Cabot Management. Notice posted at the property of on 11/4/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Chief George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The report was submitted to the city, but it failed due to corrections required. So the city is asking for the owner to come into compliance and submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right. Sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Leonard Accardi. I'm one of the residents of the building. I don't represent the owners but I live there, and I have a notice on my door, balcony door, that the balcony's unsafe. That's why I'm here today. I think there's a problem with the inspection report. The inspection report that the building has sent me says the inspection commenced on 11/8/2021 and was completed on 11/9/2021. That can't be true, because on 11/9,
Well, nevertheless, you're moving toward compliance. The city's recommended an extension.
He's referring to another case with another inspector. This case is in regard to the 40-year inspection requirement and nothing else. So the city will still request the 180-day extension for the owner to comply with the report and $100 per day thereafter.
I don't think that's sufficient. I think the penalty ought to be greater.
Your Honor, this is a city case, it's not his case.
All right, okay. I'm find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 12, Chief George Oliva, property address 934 North Victoria Park Road, owner NSMK LLC, case number BE 21070240, notice posted at the property on 11/19/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Inspector Leonardo Martinez in representation of Chief Oliva. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
All right.
Good morning, Honor.
Good morning.
My name is Ali Raza Amini. I'm the owner of the property. The project has been, we applied for the DRC, we approved. It's going to be a surgical center. We're affiliated with a large hospital, local hospital here. The property has been chained since 2-3 years, actually. It's a fence. There is no water, no electric, and no one can have access to the property. There is all storm shutters all over around. No one can access. And we are applying, as already as we speak, the construction documents are working with. So within 180 days, the whole building will have started, and then the building we have, we can demolish it at the same time. So that was the plan we have.
All right. For the record, I'm going to find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 5, property address 150 Northwest 68th Street, Chief George Oliva, owner Pan American Corp., case number BE 21070152, notice posted at the property on 11/18/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief Oliva, for address and case as read, the required 4-year, 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The repairs are required for both of the issues. The city is asking for the owners to come into compliance by submitting a new report in next 180 days, or $100 fine for every day thereafter.
How many days?
180 days.
Okay, all right. Okay, who's going to speak on behalf of the owner?
I am Peggy Cox.
Okay, and your name again is?
Peggy Cox, COX.
What would you like to add?
We have submitted the report. We have engaged electricians. We've signed a permit with the city to start the electrical work. We're hiring a roofer to install a new roof. I've spoken with Alex Alvarez on the phone, and he said today's meeting would basically say that we would have 180 days to complete the work and submit a new report from the architect to confirm that all work has been completed.
Okay. Okay, for the record, I'm going to find the violation does exist. 182 days to comply, $100 per day. Oh, it's 180. Okay. All right, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you. Our next case is on page 17 at the bottom. Chief George Oliva, property address 1660 South State Road 7, case number BE 2107-0228. Owner Gunther Motor Company of Plantation, Inc. Notice delivered by personal service on 11/10/21. Notice posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case. It's on page 17 at the bottom. You're here for 1660, sir? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
It's okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. George Oliva. This is a 40-year case. The address and the case number as read. The city is requesting from the owner to come into compliance by submitting the 40-year report to the city in the next 42 days, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right. On behalf of the owner,
Yes, Gregory McAloon on behalf of Gunther Motor Company. Essentially, they've completed all the inspections, they've completed the repairs, it's just getting final sign-off from it. I'm confident with working from the city, we could get it accomplished in 42 days. So we're happy to stipulate to it. We just need the final sign-off to occur.
all right, very good. For the record, I find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What happened? Oh, I'm sorry. One moment.
Greg?
Gregory?
Greg?
Chief, this report has been submitted. Well, you asked for 42. Shouldn't it be 180?
At this moment, I haven't revised the report, so if we need repairs to be done, we would increase the extension to 180. But at this moment, 42, because it could be in compliance.
Oh.
And we're comfortable with that as long as it works with us, and if we submit in their snags, it could be additional. So we greatly appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thank
We
you.
will keep in touch with them.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Our next case is on page 15. Chief George Oliva, property address 1250 Miami Road. Owner Bamboo Villa Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 2107-0048. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Inspector Leonardo Martinez, representing Chief Oliva from the city of Lauderdale. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 42 days, or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, good morning. On behalf of the owner, you'll state your name, please.
Carol Zinzer.
All right, what would you like to add, ma'am?
Nothing, sir.
All right, very good. For the record, I find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 34. Chief George Oliva, property address 1915 Northeast 45th Street. Owner Geneva Associates LLC, case number BE 200-40050. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section complied at $100. City is requesting to reduce the fines to administrative cost of $1,275.
George Oliva on behalf of the city, case and address as read. And yes, the city is requesting the fines to be reduced to the administration cost of $1,275.
Okay, sir, if you'll speak right to the microphone and state your name.
My name is Alan Prower.
Okay, you understand what this gentleman said?
Yes, I'd just like to add one thing that happened here. Okay. We got the notice, and the owner did a Zoom with the city, and there was a misunderstanding because we did the report, I think, in March or April. And at that point, we thought we had an additional 6 months. That was what I understood, to complete once the Zoom was done. The city said they sent an email to me and the owner, both of which we never received, warning us that there was going to be penalties. I appreciate that the city wants to reduce it and just have us pay administrative costs. But I called the city and emailed the city. We asked about extensions, and never in any response was it stated we were getting penalties. So eventually we did everything correct, thankfully. And also we thought both buildings, which are attached, we filed reports. We found out after the fact that only one building was being required at that time. So,
Impose administrative cost, $1,275.
okay, thank you, thank you. Have a good day. Thank you all.
You too. Our next case is on page 3, Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 6241 Northeast 20th Way. Yes, I'm sorry. Case number BE 2108-0102. Owner, Isabel Robbins, Michael Ribick Robbins. Notice posted at the property on 11/4/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. I visited this property on September 24th of 2021. I made contact with the owner, Isabel Robbins, who allowed me access to the rear of the property. In the back, I met with the contractor, who identified himself as the owner of the company Dogs. They were finishing a wooden dock that was installed without permits. I also observed some electrical wiring that the contractor states that was run by the owner's electrician. I issued an installed work order. The property was cited for work without permit under FBC 2021, Section 105.1. This case was opened on August 24th of 2021. The final notice was mailed out on September 21 of 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on November 4th of 2021. Permit BLD-BDSP-21120009 for dock replacement without pilings was applied on December 4th of 2021. The permit is in progress. We are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 91 days to come into compliance, or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Ma'am, if you'll state your name for the record.
Sure. Good morning. My name is Isabel Robbins. I'm the owner of the property, and I agree with Inspector Martinez. I don't know if 90 days is going to be enough, because we have to hire another company to do all this work, and now the people are so busy. The lady told me that it may need to have probably 4 months. Is there any way that we can have 120 days, maybe 4 to 5 months, just in case?
We're talking that the case was opened on September. We are on December.
Yeah, that happened is we hired this company that he didn't do the right job. They used the wrong materials, and now we have to hire another company after losing $11,000 with these other people. And the new company told me that she may or may not to be able to finish the job in the next maybe 2 or 3 months. So I was the permit is going to be ready probably in the next month, but then they need to start the
As
construction.
soon as the permit is issued, the case is complied.
Okay, oh, the permit is gonna be fine in 30 days.
That's why I'm requesting 91
Oh,
days.
thank you, that's
Yeah.
great, no problem.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna find for the record that the violation does exist.
Thank you.
91 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, have a wonderful day. Well, bye.
Our next case is on page 8, Chief George Oliva. Property address 501 Southeast 33rd Street. Owner 27th Avenue Enterprises LLC. Case number BE 2107-0235. Notice posted at the property 11/29/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Morning, Your Honor. Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for the address and the case as read, the required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in next 42 days or a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Hi, good morning. My name is Sandra Perez.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I am here. We are the new owners of the property. We got this property a few months back. However, we do have tenants there that we have not been able to gain the property completely. We have tenants there, and we're working on an evictions with the attorney. Since we purchased the property, we haven't gotten any payments. So we don't have full access to the whole property. And then we also already spoke to 2 different engineers that went out, and we're waiting on them to give us proposals. So we would like to know if the city will be able to give us an extension of 120 days or 6 months to be able to come into compliance. Also, the holidays are here. The lady prior to me was bringing out the same issue that I'm having. And again, at this point, even if I had everything ready to go, I'm stuck with 3 tenants there that actually even changed the lot, so we cannot even access the property.
Well, you've got a legal right to access the property whether the tenants like it or not. So.
Okay. We have the attorney that did submit already the evictions. Now we're waiting for the sheriffs to come out and take care of it.
Anything further from the city?
No, 42 days. That's all we have to offer.
Well, 42 days, definitely. I mean,
Okay, ma'am. I'm going to order 42 days, $100 per day thereafter. Stay in touch with this gentleman. If you have some unusual or insurmountable problems, you can request an extension. Communicate with this gentleman. All right?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Please. Okay, thank you.
Our next case is on page 1. Inspector Alexander Alvarez. Property address 601 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. Owner, the Atlantic Hotel Group Holdings, LLC. Case number BE 2107-0180. Notice posted at the property on 11/4/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21. This is a new business case.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. I initially visited this property on July 21st, 2020.
Inspector, you want to speak into the microphone? I don't think the magistrate can hear you yet.
Hello? Tess,
Yeah,
can you
try
hear
to
me better,
speak up.
sir?
Better. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. I'll start over. Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address is read. I initially visited this property on July 21st, 2021 to investigate a complaint regarding structure of the pool. The building is approximately 16 stories tall with a swimming pool deck located in the garage rooftop on the 5th floor. During this inspection, we discovered evidence suggesting that the pool is leaking. In addition, cracks were found on some of the reinforced concrete beams near the pool area. A letter dated July 26, 2021, prepared by the structural engineers was received stating that the engineer visited the Atlantic Hotel and Spa on July 22nd, 2021 to visually observe the conditions of the pool structure, and that the conditions observed at the pool structure warrant additional analysis to develop a repair protocol. Engineering company recommended that the analysis and repair protocol be determined in the next 3 to 6 months, and that the pool is not in imminent danger of collapse and may still be used. The property was cited for violation of Section 9-280B, buildings parts not maintained. The case was opened July 21st, 2021. Inspection report was mailed August 17, 2021. As of December 15, 2021, records show concrete restoration permit BLD-CRES-21110005 with a status of awaiting client reply as of November 29th, 2021 for existing concrete repairs. The city is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 35 days to come into compliance and obtain all necessary repair permits within 35 days and to complete the repairs required within 182 days after permit is issued or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. The respondent is here.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
My name is Dimitri Kosvoyanis. I'm the general manager and counsel on behalf of the owners. Just very quickly, we want to assure Your Honor and the city that we've taken these observations very, very seriously. We immediately moved to engage an engineering firm, as you heard from the inspector, that produced a report. We have, as you also heard, applied for a building permit. The reason we haven't completed is we went through a bidding process to identify a contractor, which we have done. The contractor now being National Concrete. We will complete the building permit application with the GC's information. I have the GC's license number here for the record, if you like. I can read that into the record. CGC 1515373. We do expect to have the building permit process completed within the 35 days as mentioned by the city, and we also do expect to have the structural issues addressed within the 180 days, also as stated by the city.
Okay. For the record, I'm going to find the violation does exist and the relief requested by the city is granted.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 18. Chief George Oliva, property address 1712 Southwest 24th Street, 1-4, owner Hunter H. Holmes LLC, case number BE 2107-0367. Notice posted at the property 11/6/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This case is in regard to the 40-year requirement that they need to submit, and they haven't submitted yet, so the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or $100 per day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
My name is Mark Grossman. I work with Hunter Homes, and I'm the builder on site for the property.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yes, we've recently purchased the property in June, and we've just taken it over. There are a few old structures on it that are not lived in. Our process, we actually have a demolition permit that we've applied for. We've gotten our first round of comments back on it. So our intent is to really get rid of the structures all entirely, and we've already are in the DRC process for our new project.
All right, very good. For the record, I'm going to find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Just one last question. If we get that demolition permit and start the demolition process.
Hang, you can speak to this gentleman when other people.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You can send me an email later on today and I will reply, but whatever you do, as long as you get that permit issue, the city will hold back.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 27. Chief George Oliva, property address 3936 West Davie Boulevard, case number BE 2107-0226. Owner Stephen Francis Arcedo. Notice posted at the property on 11/17/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Hang on. All right. Okay, got it.
Tasha, sorry. What was the address?
Davie Boulevard.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address are read. This is a 40-year requirement case, and the report was submitted to the city. We did a revision on it, and it needs correction. So at this moment, the city is requesting a 180-day extension for the property owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report with no repairs and $100 per day thereafter.
Okay. Ma'am, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name.
Yes, my name is Mary Andrews.
Okay, you understand what this is?
Yes, I understand that the 40-year certification, he was talking about an extension for 180 days to get the work to come in compliance.
Very good. So for the record, I'm going to find the violation does exist. 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 10, Chief George Oliva, property address 823 Northeast 19th Ave, 1-3. Case number BE 21070242. Owner, Sodovia, LLC. Notice posted at the property 11/19/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Hi. I'm new to that. I'm a foreigner.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Maddock for George Oliva, Chief George Oliva. As for address and case as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. Actually, report was submitted and it failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within 180 days or a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Okay, ma'am, if you will speak into the microphone and state your name.
Hello, my name is Natalia Zakheim, and
Understand what this gentleman said.
let me tell you, I'm a foreigner, so I'm coming here. I bought the property, and the previous owner, he didn't tell us that he got already the request for 40 years inspection. So we are now trying to conduct all the offers from the constructors to see how much it would cost, and probably even complain to the previous owner. Of course, the 180 days probably is the only thing we can do, but I want to ask you, because I'm a foreigner and me coming to the country, though I have right to come, but it can be disturbed by corona measurements or things like, can I work with inspector, because I see you for the first time, can we make appointment to see what I can do, to see how I can plan it, and just I want to comply to everything, but I'm scared of that situation can get out of control.
You can get in touch with him, and I'm sure he'll be very happy to give you an explanation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so can we make appointment, because I filed just recently, like 2 days ago. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For the record, I find the violation does exist.
Yeah.
180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Good luck, ma'am.
At this time, Your Honor, we're going to request a small recess. Thank you. Okay, we're going to resume our hearing. Our next case is on page 5. Chief George Oliva, property address 100 Northwest 8th Street. Owner 100 Northwest 8th Street LLC. Case number BE 2107-0182. Notice posted at the property. Do I have a respondent here for this case? 100 Northwest 8th Street? Okay, no? I will go to the next one. She's here? Okay. This case, I'm sorry, no, this is a new business case. Notice posted at the property on 11/15/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Maddock in behalf of Chief George Oliva for the case and address as read. The required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. There are structural repairs required for this case. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within the next 180 days or 100 days, $100 a day thereafter. Penalty.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Hi, my name is Linda Dupu.
Anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said?
Just that I did apply for the 40-year inspection. I did get it from the engineer. I had 5 structural deficiencies, and the engineer that I hired, he's behind and can't assist me. So I've hired a new engineer, and I just got a new contract from them today. So I feel within the 180 days, I will have everything repaired. And if not, if I have an issue, I'll contact inspector.
Very good. I'm going to find that the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Our next case is on page 34, Chief George Oliva, property address 545 East Campus Circle. Owner, Southeastern Conference Association of SEV. Case number CE 11122131. This case was first heard on 11/7/13 to comply by 2/6/14. One section not complied at $250. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $717,250, which continues to accrue.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, this case is a 40-year requirement, and it's a very old case. This case is from 2011, November. And they submit a report back then, and somehow this case by the previous administration went into the dark. Anyhow, we found the case that remained open, and we sent them the notice that they were not in compliance with the 40 years. So far, according to the records, permit records that we have, they did the restoration to the building back in 2012, and I remember because I was one of the building inspectors at that time that did inspection in the building. So they submit to me this morning via email a copy of the 40 years, but only the building part, the structure, and the architect of record said there's no repair required. And they're gonna submit the electrical in the next 15 days. So at this moment, Your Honor, I wanna ask for an extension of time of 42 days for the property owner to come into compliance by submitting the reports, and then we will come back to mitigate the fines after they are in compliance. So at this moment, the city will request the fine to stop running and 42 days extension.
All right, sir, just for the record, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name.
Sure, I'm Christopher Paul.
All right, that sounds like a reason that we got a problem here that I think the city's really trying to solve, and I'm inclined to grant a 42-day extension and stay the fines as of this date.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 10, Chief George Oliva, property address 806 Northeast 16th Place, 1-8. Owner, Titan Middle River 8 LLC, case number BE 2107-0184. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for the case and address as read. The required 40-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city's asking for owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within the next 42 days or a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Yes, Rosie Barron, I am the property manager, and I picked up the report yesterday. There are some repairs that we need to do with the electrical, so our electrician's going out there today.
Looks like
42
we're going
days.
to be able to solve this one
Yes.
easily, so let's do 42 days to comply,
Right.
$100 per day thereafter.
Okay, thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you, Your Honor.
Our next case is at the top of page 10. 720 Orton Avenue. Owner, Leisure Sands Land Owners, Inc. Case number BE 2107-0210, Chief George Oliva. Notice posted at the property on 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Tasha, can you repeat the case?
720 Orton Avenue.
I got it. Good morning, Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for case and address as read. The required 40-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within the next 42 days or $100 fine a day thereafter.
Sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Yes, good morning. My name is Dennis Sobieski, and I'm the property manager for Leisure Sands Condominium. Leisure Sands Landowners, Inc. is long dissolved, so you need to update that record. But as far as the 40-year, we're quite aware of the requirements of it. We signed an agreement with ACG Engineering back on August 3rd. I'm sure you're all aware that all the municipalities are on the 40-year push at this point. I finally received the engineering report on Monday. However, the engineering firm, the electrical engineering firm that they work with, MEB Design, says that they won't have the electrical part done until probably next week, or certainly by the end of the year.
All right. Seems to me 42 days should be adequate.
I would think so.
Okay.
But you need to
Find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 28, Chief George Oliva. Property address 4701 Northeast 21st Ave, 1-5. Owner 4701 Northeast 21st Avenue LLC. Case number BE 2107-0196. Notice posted at the property on 11/17/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
George Oliva, in behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case, and the city is requesting for the owner to come in compliance by submitting the report to the city in the next 42 days, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Brian Bauer.
Anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said?
No, Your Honor.
No? All right. I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 1, Inspector Bobby Mazzula. Property address 5240 Northeast 14th Terrace. Owner 5240 Northeast 14th, Inc. Case number BE 2106-0112. Notice posted at the property 12/1/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning, sir. Robert Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, presenting case number B.
One second, Bobby. I don't have a respondent here for 5240. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Robert Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, presenting case BE 21060112, property address 5240 Northeast 14th Terrace. I would like to enter a copy of the notice of violation into the record, which details the violations listed on the agenda, as well as the corrective action for each violation. This property was advertised and sold on May 28th, 2021. The online advertisement for the property stated the property was fully renovated in February 2020. The online realtor-related website showed pictures of a fully remodeled kitchen, 2 bathrooms that were fully remodeled with shower pans, valves, plumbing fixtures removed and replaced, electrical hi-hats installed throughout the property, throughout the house. Windows and doors were removed and replaced, and the open space design would have meant they removed interior walls. My opinion, based on the scope of work performed without the required permits, a design professional is required to properly document the entire scope of work performed to the property. An inspection report was mailed June 25th, 2021. A notice of violation was mailed September 16th, 2021. I would like to include a display, dated photos taken of the property, enter them into evidence. I ask that the magistrate find for the city that the property owner is in violation. Ask the magistrate to order the property owner to come compliance within 35 days or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. Thank you.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Hi, Your Honor. Manuel Forero, Miami Beach Construction. I'm the general contractor retained by the owners to do the certification or actually legalization of the renovations done on the property.
Okay, so for the record, I found the violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Our next case is on page 4, Chief George Oliva, property address 95 North Birch Road, owner Harbor Haven Condo Association, case number BE 21070259. Notice posted at the property 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning.
Good morning, Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for the case and address as read. The required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. Actually, the report was submitted and not accepted because of missing information. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within 180 days or $100 per day thereafter in fines.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone, state your name, please.
Lori Hill, property manager for the association.
All right, anything you'd like to add?
No, we did submit the revised report, our permit runner Woodstock, yesterday. So, but it does still require repairs. We do already have the permit for the repairs. And
We're
the
moving
work
along.
is, yes, the work is scheduling change.
Violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our next case is on page 29, property address 5320 North Powerline Road, Chief George Oliva, owner Desert Powerline Out Parcel LLC, case number BE 21070140. Notice posted at the property 11/15/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This case is about a 40-year inspection report that is required by Broward County. And we've been talking to the owner's representative, and we came into agreement for 42 days. He's going to provide me a letter within that time period that the building is vacant and it's not in use, and it doesn't have any electrical power to it. So that way, we're going to put this case on hold after he submits the letter for another 12-month period. And then they have to resubmit another request if they're not going to use the building. Or they may demo the building in that period. So at this moment, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Yeah, Michael Pizzi, I'm the attorney for the Desert family, and and we appreciate it. Again, we appreciate working with Mr. Oliva and his staff. Judge, this is the old Neiman's and dirt cheap building. It's been unoccupied for a number of years, and we're gonna within the next 42 days we're gonna provide the letter requested by Mr. Oliva and work with the staff to close this out. And thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, thank you, and happy holidays to everyone. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, this isn't the building where the amusement park is.
I'm sorry?
They have a property there, the go-kart.
Yeah, you know what this is? This is the out parcel to Extreme Action Park.
Extreme, that's what it's called.
This is the out parcel across the street from Extreme Action Park, which is 5300 Powerline. And this weekend they have a holiday special, half price off the go-karts, so it's going to be a great...
Thank you.
Coupons, go-karts, all that. Well, I forget, we're on TV, Extreme Action Park this Saturday.
Thank you. Okay, Your Honor, this concludes all of our respondents. So we're going back to page 1 at the top. Property address 622 Southwest 16th Court. Case number BE 2108-0126. Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Owner Kimberly Spout, and homestead exempted for Joseph Spout. Notice posted at the property 12/2/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Good morning, Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city, presenting case as read. There are expired permits related to this property. City is requesting 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, how many days?
42 days,
Okay, and,
$50 a day.
okay. All right, for the record, I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Page 2, Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 6000 Northwest 21st Ave. Owner, City of Fort Lauderdale, and care of Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport. Case number BE 200800115. Notice posted at the property 11/29/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, updating the case as read, PM-1901-0938 remain expired. The customer are working to change the contractor and reopen the permit. City is recommending 35 days extension to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, what,
35 days or
$50?
$50.
I find the violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Page 3, Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1418 Northeast 53rd Court. Owner, FL 2-Day Inc., case number BE 2109-0025. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. I visited this property on September 10th of 2021. I met there with the project manager, Damian Moncada, who granted me access into the house. While inside, I observed the laundry room walls located in front of the house entrance were removed. Walking through the house, I observed also some toilets and bathroom sinks that were removed. I issued a stop work order. The property was cited for work without permit under FBC 2020, Section 105.1. This case was opened on March 11 of 2021. Inspection report was mailed out to the property owner on September 10th of 2021. Final notice was mailed to the property owner in October 13 of 2021, and the notice of hearing was posted at the property on November 17 of 2021. As today, permit BLD-RALT-21120029 was applied on December 7 of 2021. The permit is in process. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 91 days to come into compliance or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
91, okay. All right, I find the violation does exist, 91 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on to page 5, Chief George Oliva, property address 111 Southeast 19th Street, 1-7. Owner 111 Principalities LLC, case number BE 2107-0362. Notice posted at the property 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Tasha, would you repeat the address again, please?
111 Southeast 19th Street.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for case and address as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. It's not in compliance. The city is asking for owner to get in compliance by submitting a new report within 42 days or $100 a day thereafter.
All right, I find
Fine.
the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 6 at the top. Chief George Oliva, property address 222 Southwest 21st Terrace. Owner, Massa Family Holdings LLC. Case number BE 2107-0329. Notice posted at the property 11/10/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for the case and address as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has partially been approved. Both reports received, electrical repairs required. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within next 180 days or $100 a day fine thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 241 South Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. Owner, Brooklyn 46 LLC, in care of Joyner Management Company. Case number BE 2107-0353. Notice posted at the property 11/19/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for address and case as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. The reports received, but repairs are required for both issues. The city is asking the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within 180 days or $100 a day thereafter in
I
fines.
find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 6, property address 316 Northeast 4th Street. Owner, 300 3rd and 4th LLC. Case number BE 2107-0243. Notice posted at the property 11/4/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for case and address as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved and is still not in compliance. The city is asking for the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or $100 a day thereafter in fines.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 7, property address 420 Northeast 14th Street. Owner, Robert Myers. Case number BE 2107-0216. Notice posted at the property on 11/17/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of George Oliva, for the case and address as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has been received. No repairs are required, and case is closed at this time.
Property address 421 Southeast 21st Street, 1-5. Owner, Broward House, Inc. Case number BE 2107-0363. Notice posted at the property 11/4/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for address and case as read, the required 40-year inspection has not been approved. Repairs are required for both issues. The city is asking for the owner to come in compliance within the next 180 days or $100 a day fine thereafter.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
On page 8, property address 600 Breakers Ave, owner Sea Wind Plaza LLC, case number BE 2107-0295. Notice posted at the property 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for the address in case as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved and is not in compliance. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or $100 a day thereafter in fines.
And the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 6, property address 608 Breakers Ave 3, case number BE 2107-0296, owner Sea Wind Plaza LLC. Notice posted at the property 11/19/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for the case and address as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved, is not in compliance. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance by submitting a new report in the next 42 days and fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 9 at the top, property address 609 Bayshore Drive, owner 609 Bayshore Drive, Inc., case number BE 2107-0344. Notice posted at the property 11/9/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for address and case as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. Both reports received, repairs required within 180 days or $100 a day thereafter in fines.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 9, property address 660 Northeast 11th Ave, owner Capri Courts Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 2107-0178. Notice posted at the property 11/16/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for case and address as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. Electrical discipline failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or $100 a day thereafter in fines.
Okay, I'll find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 11, property address 842 Southwest 2nd Street, 1-6, case number BE 2107-0357, owner GFLNG LLC. Notice posted at the property 11/6/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for the case and address as read, the required 40-year safety inspection has not been approved. Report have failed. The city is asking the owner to come into compliance by submitting the new report and within the next 180 days or $100 a day thereafter in fines.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 11, property address 850 Northeast 13th Street, owner Transforma Realty LLC, case number BE 2107-0175. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Maddock, in behalf of Chief George Oliva, for address and case as read, the required 40-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. Report failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report within 180 days or $100 a day thereafter in fines.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 12 at the top, property address 900 River Reach Drive, owner River Reach 1 Condo Association, case number BE 2107-0397. Notice posted at the property 11/10/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Leonardo Martinez, representing Chief Oliva and the City of Lauderdale. Case and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter. The 42 days over.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 13 at the top, property address 1000 River Reach Drive, owner River Reach Inc., case number BE 2107-0388. Notice posted at the property 11/10/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Tasha, there was a case on page 12 that I think
I'm sorry?
907 Northeast 20th Avenue.
It's complied.
That's comply?
Yeah.
Okay, page 13, 100 River Ridge Drive?
Yes.
Okay,
1000 River Reach Drive.
1000. Inspector Martinez, representing the city, and Chief Oliva. The required 40, 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1019 Northwest 5th Ave, owner City Flats LLC, case number BE 2107-0238. Notice posted at the property 11/19/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city of Lauderdale, and Chief Oliva. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 14, property address 1035 North Andrews Ave, 1-6, case number BE 2107-0233, owner Lawrence Brokaw. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of Chief Oliva and City of Lauderdale, the required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a report in the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1109 Northwest 5th Street, owner MYL number 1 LLC, case number BE 2107-0316. Notice posted at the property 11/19/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city of Lauderdale, and Chief Oliva. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report on the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1133 Northeast 15th Ave, 1-8, owner PSD Investments LLC, case number BE 2107-0223. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Inspector Martinez, in behalf of Chief Olivas and the city, the required 40 or 10-year safety inspection hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a report on the next 42 days or fines of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 17 at the top. Property address 1515 East Broward Boulevard. Owner Pinecrest Village 1 Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 2107-0250. Notice posted at the property 11/4/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Page
17 at the top.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 42-day extension request from the city, or $100 per day thereafter. We're gonna try to speed up the cases.
What was your request?
42 days to comply and $100 per day thereafter.
All right, I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 18 at the top, property address 1707 Northwest 6th Street. Owner, Jihad O. Hassan and Ikram Hassan. Case number BE 21070318. Notice posted at the property on 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
This is a 40-year case, and the city also is requesting for the owner to comply in 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 19 at the top, property address 1750 East Commercial Boulevard. Owner 1750 Building LLC. Case number BE 21070160. Notice posted at the property 11/13/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Once again, this is a 40-year case, and the city is requesting for the owner to comply in the next 42 days or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 20, property address 1908 East Oakland Park Boulevard. Case number BE 21070198. Owner CWM Firebird LLC. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
George O'Leary, on behalf of the city, this is a 40-year case, and the city is requesting 42 days to comply and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 20 at the bottom, property address 2029 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner Trade Winds by the Sea, Inc. Case number BE 21070037. Notice posted at the property 11/16/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
The report was submitted to the city, and it fell, and the city is requesting a 180-day extension for the owner to comply with a new report or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 21, property address 2325 Northeast 33rd Ave. Owner 2325 Northeast 33rd Avenue LLC. Case number BE 21070292. Notice delivered via personal service to Nicholas Store 11/16/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Case and address as read. The city is requesting 42 days to the owner to comply with a 40-year report or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 21, property address 2401 Eisenhower Boulevard. Owner Transmontania Terminals LLC. Case number BE 21070356. Notice posted at City Hall 11/18/21. Notice posted at the property 11/18/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
The owner did supply the report to the city, but it failed due to repairs required. The city is requesting a 180-day extension for the owner to comply with the repairs or submit a new report after or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 22 at the bottom, property address 2850 Northeast 30th Place. Owner 2850 BV Apartments LLC. Case number BE 21070167. Notice posted at the property 11/13/21. Posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Case and address as read. The city is requesting for the owners to supply the 40-year report to the city in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 24, Property address 3030 Davie Boulevard. Owner, Bank of America, and care of Corp Real Estate Assessment. Case number BE 210-70225. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
The owner did supply the report to the city, but it failed. So the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 24 at the bottom, property address 3031 Northeast 21st Terrace, 1-7. Owner RSVP1 LLC, case number BE 2109-0057. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
The 40-year report was submitted to the city, but it failed due to repairs required, and the city is asking for the owner to come into compliance in the next 180 days by submitting a new report with no repair or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 25 at the bottom, property address 3233 Northeast 32nd Ave. Owner, the Continental Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 210700189. Notice posted at the property 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
Once again, this is a 40-year case, and the report was submitted to the city, and it failed due to corrections required, and the city is requesting from the owner to submit a new report in the next 180 days and $100 per day thereafter if the report is not submitted.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 26 at the top, property address 3430 Galt Ocean Drive. Owner, the Commodore Condo Apartments, Inc. Case number BE 210700380. Notice posted at the property on 11/9/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
The report was submitted to the city, and it failed. So the city is going to request for the owner to come into compliance in 180 days by submitting a new report with no repairs or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 3520 North Federal Highway. Owner 1630 Westchester Realty Company. Case number BE 21070164. Notice posted at the property on 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
This is a 40-year case, and the owners haven't report or submit the report to the city. The city is requesting 42 days for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 3750 Galt Ocean Drive. Owner, Regency Towers South Association, Inc. Case number BE 21070190. Notice posted at the property on 11/4/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
They submit the report to the city, but it failed due to repairs required. So the city is going to request from the owners 180 days to submit a new report with no repairs and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Page 27, property address 3908 Northeast 22nd Ave. Owner, Country Club Fairways, Inc. Case number BE 21070382. Notice posted at the property 11/10/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
This is a 40-year case that is not in compliance, and the city is requesting from the owner 42 days to submit the report and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 28, property address 3950 North Federal Highway. Owner, Marias LLC. Case number BE 21070195. Notice posted at the property 11/17/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
This is a 40.
I said Mariah.
What?
Sorry.
Case and address as read. This is a 40-year case that has not been complied, and the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days to submit the report and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 29, property address 5230 Northeast 14th Way, case number BE 2107050, owner Enrico Acion. Notice posted at the property 11/15/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days by submitting the 40-year report to us or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Bottom of page 29, property address 5475 Northwest 9th Ave, owner Final Notice Enterprise LLC, case number BE 210700156. Notice posted at the property 11/15/21, posted at City Hall 12/2/21.
George Oliva for the city, case and address as read. The property owner just sent me an email with a partial report completed, but still they need to submit the other half, which is the electrical. At this moment, the city is going to request 42 days for the owner to fully comply the case and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Your Honor, on behalf of my division, I want to wish you a very good holidays and a happy new year. I will see you in January. Bye.
Thank you, Chief, for all your cases. Page 31 at the bottom, property address 1720 Northeast 56th Street, 1-4, Inspector Alexander Borges. Property owner, International Investment Partners, LLC, case number CE 200400538. This case was first heard 2/18/21 to comply by 4/22/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting a full amount of $11,850, which continues to accrue.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating your case number and address is read. The property was cited for work without permit, FPC 2017, Section 105.1, for a roof installed without first obtaining the required permit. The owner contacted me, and he informed me that he cannot be here today. Owner stated that he's been in litigation with the contractor, and that the contractor has finally agreed to address the corrections to come into the compliance. For that reason, the city is requesting a 35-day extension and to stop the fines until the next hearing to allow the owner time to address the corrections and get his permit.
Grant a 35-day extension, stay the fines as of this date.
Thank you.
Page 32, property address 401 Northwest 7th Terrace, case number BE 21070147. Owner, Mount Hermon African Methodist Episcopal Church, Inc. This case was first heard on 9/16/21 to comply by 10/28/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Property address 421 Isle of Capri Drive. Owner, John Kennedy Landry Sr. Case number BE 21110016. This property was cited on 11/4/21 to comply by 11/6/21. One section complied at $150. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $900. Appeal deadline was 11/19/21. No appeal received.
The city's request is granted.
Page 33 at the top. Property address 505 Southwest 11th Court. Owner, Leonard Morrell. Case number BE 201000028. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 7/15/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100, which continues to accrue. Well, I'm sorry, the inspector wants to speak. Go ahead.
Inspector Martinez, in behalf of the city, plumbing permit for gas water heater residential plumbing permit and residential alteration permit were issued 12/14 of 2021. There is still an electrical permit pending, and there is another issue that was part of the violation, which was a shed that was installed without permit. I tried to contact the owner this morning. I sent him an email. I just happened to listen to a phone call that he left me a message saying that he got COVID and he didn't know about the shed, that he will call me later. At this point, Your Honor, I will let the fines to be imposed, and because the case is not fully complied.
Okay, city's request is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on to page 35, Property Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 209 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard, 10C. Owner, John D. Mott Jackson, Melissa A. Mott. I'm sorry, John D. Jackson, Melissa A. Mott. Case number BE 200400136. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 9/30/21. Go ahead, Inspector.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is in compliance. City is recommending an administrative cost to be imposed of $325.
All right, city's request is granted.
Property address 2340 Northwest 15th Court. Case number BE 200060249. Owner J.D. Bradley Jr. and Alice. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 7/29/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City's requesting to impose the full amount of $5,200, which continues to accrue.
Yes. Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of city, presenting the case as read. The case is not in compliance. The city recommending the fine to be imposed.
You into impose, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Impose the fines.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm,
He wants to impose the fines of $5,200, which continues to accrue.
all right, granted.
Okay. Inspectors, if nothing is different from what we have in the agenda, you don't have to present the case. I'll just. Okay. All right. At the bottom of page 35, property address 2512 Key Largo Lane. Owner Draco Newman Enterprises, Inc. Case number BE 21040037. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 9/30/21. One section complied at $50.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is in compliance. City is recommending administrative cost of $375.
All right, the city's request is granted.
Thank you. Happy holiday for everybody.
All right,
Oh, that's it. I'm sorry.
and adjourned.
At this time, Your Honor, all the cases that are listed on page 37, we would like to be entered into the record as complied, closed, or withdrawn.
Granted. So,
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. This concludes our December 16, 2021 special magistrate hearing. Thank you.